Hello and welcome to chapter 6 of the Plain Truth 12 channel. This is your host Luke. Now, keeping up with the theme of digitalization, we have an article by Happy Magazine. Thousands of people in Sweden are getting microchips inserted under their skin. Now, as stated in last week's chapter on Estonia, we're getting further moves towards digitalization that is being further enhanced during this current sea fiasco. Now, to reinforce the point, LinkedIn done an article titled 8 Key Tech Trends in a Post-Sea Fiasco World, where the 8 trends are as followed: artificial intelligence, cloud, virtual reality, Internet of Things, voice user interface, 5G, cybersecurity, and blockchain. Now, due to the necessity of reducing human to human contact, there needs to be, and I'm going to put need in quotation marks, an enhancement in digitalization solutions. Now, this is coming under the form of microchip implants in Sweden. Now, this is an article by Open Mind titled "Technology Under Your Skin: 3 Challenges of Microchip Implants." Now, as stated here, as technology continues to get closer to merge with our bodies, from the smartphones in our hands to the smartwatches on our wrists to earbuds, now it's getting under our skin, literally with a tiny microchip. A human microchip implant is typically an identifying integrated circuit device, or a RFID, a radio frequency identification transponder encased in silicate glass and implanted in the body of a human being. This type of subdermal implant usually contains a unique ID number that can be linked to the information contained in an external database, such as personal identification, law enforcement, medical history, medications, allergies, and contact information. In Sweden, thousands have had microchips inserted into their hands. The chips are designed to speed up users' daily routines and make their lives more convenient. Now, as stated in last week's chapter, careful around the words they use. It's when it comes to dishing out these technologies to the consumer, the word convenience is always there. It's there to help things easier, to make your life more simple. Again, given examples here, accessing their homes, offices, and gyms is as easy as swiping their hands against digital readers. Chips also can be used to store emergency contact details, social media profiles, or e-tickets for events and rail journeys. Now, this is an example of the microchip. Johan Österlund holds a microchip implant in Stockholm in 2017. His company, Biohacks International, is a leading provider of the devices in Sweden. This is the gentleman that's pushing it out in Sweden. Now, advocates of the tiny chips say they are safe and largely protected from hacking. Largely, never completely. But scientists are raising privacy concerns around the kinds of personal health data that might be stored on the devices. Around the size of a grain of rice, the chips typically are inserted into the skin just above each user's thumb, using a syringe similar to that used for giving vaccinations. Implanting chips in humans has privacy and security implications that go well beyond cameras in public places, facial recognition, tracking of our locations, our driving habits, our spending histories, and even beyond ownership of your data, which poses great challenges for the acceptance of this technology. Now, this issue is an increasingly great one as we continue to become more digitalized in society. It is almost inevitable that humans will require microchip implants to connect them even more towards the cloud in our lives. Cities will become more digitalized, businesses will become more digitalized, everything will become more digitalized, which will require a more closer relationship between humans and technology. Now, this article raises certain challenges. The first challenge, which is technology, which is advancing every day, and the chips are getting smaller and smarter. In the world of the Internet of Things, the chips are considered as the first element of a typical Internet of Things system, which consists of sensors, networks, cloud, and applications. Now, this is the very important part. As a sensor, the chip touches upon your hand, your heart, your brain, and the rest of your body literally. This new development is set to give a quite different meaning to hacking the body or biohacking. While cyber experts continue to worry about protecting critical infrastructure, mitigating security risks that could harm the economy or cause loss of life, implanted chips also affect health by adding new dimensions to the risk and threats of hacking of sensors as they considered as the weakest link in the Internet of Things system. This is basically saying that you are being connected to a system which is already hackable. If you are connected to something which is hackable, you are thereby a result hackable. It is quite simple. And the people that are taking this in droves in Sweden are, I don't know if there is a bewildering spell going on there, but what they are not realizing is that they are now hackable human beings. Now, this is highlighted in the third part as individuals try to grapple with privacy and security implications that come with technologies like the Internet of Things, big data, public and private sector data breaches, social media sharing, GDPR, a new California privacy law, along with data ownership and right to be forgotten provisions. Along comes a set of technologies that will become much more personal than your smartphone or cloud storage history. And the tiny chip under your skin is sitting at the top of the list in these technologies, posing new risks and threats. These threats come to biohacking. Now, there is a short documentary that was done by ITV News, which is on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description. But it highlights certain parts of these issues that was picked up in the article. Now we'll just start here.
This is a microchipping party. Hannah's getting an electronic chip implanted into her hand. She believes one day we'll all be chipped like her.
So
Not me, boy. Again, Sweden is the driving force. Overall, Europe is. Europe is the driving force for these technologies, as we've seen in Estonia and now Sweden. But yeah, let's continue on.
How did you feel?
Fair use.
I felt a little bit strange because now I'm a cyborg and it feels pretty cool.
The chips in their hands use near-field communication, the same technology that allows you to pay with a contactless credit card. They can be read by a device like a smartphone.
So here I've stored my business card on my phone with my details, phone number, email address, other stuff, blood group even.
So what's the benefit of that?
When I get customers or suppliers at work, they ask for my business card and I say, scan me.
Aren't there risks involved in that as well? Couldn't somebody pass you by and take all that
Scan me.
information?
Yes, it is in theory possible, but you have to be really, really close. But the main thing I think is that I choose myself what I want to store on this chip.
No, you don't. That's that bewilderment. I don't know what it is. You do not. It will work as cookies. You will not. But anyway, let's continue on with the video.
Several microchips. He wants us all to hack our biology. Microchipping is, he says, just the start.
I want us humans to open up and improve our sensory universe, our cognitive functions, and improve all different dimensions of being human. And there is so much we can do.
You want to make us bionic?
Indeed. I want to merge humans with technology, and I think it will be awesome.
There are so many companies that have the agenda of this man. Like, solving world hunger is nowhere near the top of anything of these people's priority list. It's about allowing humans to mold with technology more and more. Now, in conclusion, this article highlights that according to a recent survey of employees in the United States and Europe, 2/3 of employees believe that in 2035, humans with chips implanted in their bodies will have an unfair advantage in the labor market. So, again, there is going to be a level of discrimination regarding those who are implanted and those who are not. But those who are implanted will have an issue regarding cybersecurity. You will be vulnerable. Your health will be vulnerable. And people are not realizing it. As time goes on, transhumanism will be a topic in everybody's mind as it becomes almost impossible to escape this future. Thank you very much for joining me on this chapter. It was a very, very interesting one. I'll be doing videos on this more. But again, thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me on the next episode.